Children need three things when they come into the classroom. They need to learn how to connect, they need to learn how to communicate, and they need to know how to problem solve. These three factors influence belonging. A child who feels like they belong is much more likely to be committed to their learning. These 5 picture books that I've chosen today, I believe, will enhance children's belonging in the classroom because they provide diverse illustrations of different cultures, they give examples of problem solving, and they provide moral statements that children can understand and articulate in their own lives. The first book I'd like to show you is called All Are Welcome. As you can see, this includes diverse illustrations of different cultures and gives many different examples of how children can belong in the classroom. For example, this page talks about, we will learn from each other, special talents will uncover. There's a big world to discover. All are welcome here. I just like how there's a lot of different colors in these picture books and how it shows children in different circumstances all participating in something wonderful like learning. This book is more school-centered, while this book by the same author, Alexandra Penfold, is more home-centered. This one is called All Our Neighbors. All Our Neighbors, as you can see, again has a diverse examples of cultures, and it's just very colorful. In this book, there's many different examples of where children might see diversity, and it illustrates every single one. There's different stores, there's different places on the street. This page says, let's go walking down our street, friends and neighbors here to greet. Oh, so many folks to meet, we are all neighbors here. This one also includes that moral statement, we are all neighbors here, that children can understand and say to themselves when they're on the street. This one is All Our Neighbors Here, or All Our Neighbors by Alexandra Penfold. The third book I'd like to discuss is called My America by Karen Katz. This book gives many different individual examples of different cultures. Each page has text, including different languages saying hello. It describes the student, it describes where they are going to, where they come from, and some of their likes and dislikes. It even gives a little bit of an illustration of where they came from and where they're at now. This one is from South Korea going to New York. This one is from Somalia going to Minnesota. And it just goes through many different examples of this. I'm having a hard time flipping my pages. One other thing that I like about this book is that it includes the why there are different cultures. I came to be with my family, I came to have food and shelter, I came to go to school, I came to feel safe. When children understand the why of things, they're much more likely to understand the what. And so if they understand why there's differences in their classroom, then they won't get caught up on them as much. The fourth book I'd like to describe to you today is called You Matter. This provides a very simple demonstration of belonging. This one I would probably use for kindergartners or first graders, but the part that I like the most is the different perspectives. For example, this part, it starts with a little mosquito. It says, when everyone thinks you're a pest, and then it goes to a little bit of a bigger perspective. When something is just out of reach, when everyone is too busy to help, you matter. So I like how it describes each different perspective and how potentially each one of these characters could feel like they don't matter. But it ends with this moral statement of you matter, which children can understand and they can articulate to themselves when they find themselves relating to these situations. The last book I'd like to describe today is called Friends Beyond Measure. This book is great for math integration. It tells the story of two girls who become friends right off the bat. They describe how they problem solve with their differences and how they have so much fun with doing different activities. But the part that I like the best is how many graphs are included in this book. For example, you can already see a line graph here. It starts with a Venn diagram of all of their likes, what one girl likes and what one girl likes, and the likes that they share. And each page has a different way of organizing information. The part that covers belonging the most in this book, however, is a demonstration of emotional regulation. For example, one of the girls finds out that they're moving, and this describes the feelings that the other friend feels. First, they feel excitement, then they feel a little bit of sadness, they might feel a little bit of fear, and then ultimately they feel a lot of shock, maybe a little bit of envy at the end. And it's represented in a bar graph representing the different levels of these feelings. Now, these different feelings could be potentials for conflict, right? But this book goes through how this child deals with those feelings and those emotions. And eventually at the end, they decide to be friends, despite the differences and despite the distance. At the end, it even includes many different examples of the different charts and the definitions of them. And so this would be a great option to use in a math integrated lesson where you'd like students to make their own graphs. Thank you for participating in this video with me. These are 5 different books that relate to belonging in the classroom.